Whoa, just finished running my hands under hot water so I could feel my fingers again. And they're getting cold already, so I'm tired of this weather. Okay, for this video, I can't tell you how much fun I'm having making gears and diving into it. But as I mentioned, I want to make the 25 tooth gear so I can have these two main gears replaced with metal, get rid of the plastic. So I did some brainstorming with Pierre of Pierre's Garage up in Canada, and the conclusion was the only way I'm going to make a 25 tooth gear is I have to make a custom spindex plate, which is right here. So this is a two-part video. I wish it was one, but this one, even this one is really long. So this one I'm going to show making the blank plate, and from it you'll see how I'm pushing a mini lathe to the limit, because this is a 4-inch piece of stock that I made this from, so maybe you'll pick up angles and how I did it. Then the next part, part 2, will be actually drilling the hole, so you'll get to see how I do this in precision. It's like within a thou, and it's done on the other mill with the BluDRO and the whole circle function. So hope you enjoy it, but I begin with what I should have done in the first place, which is look at the entire overall picture of what's involved to making gears before you even make a decision to climb onto this thing, to take this thing on. So, but I'm in it, I'm having fun, so I hope you enjoy the video. In this video, you're going to see me making this special adapter plate, because I want to make this 125 tooth gear, and you can't make it on the existing spindex because it's not divisible by 360 degrees. So I did all of this stuff, and then I realized at the end, of course hindsight's always 20/20, that I should have done this before even starting to make gears or buy cutters. So what happened was, I'm trying to figure out how many holes or what to drill, but then it occurred to me, all right, so I pulled out all the change gears, and you get 30, 35, all the way up to 65. I do have a spare 80, but I wound up on the little machine shop site looking at the change gear sets, and they only give you 30 to 65. They don't give you the 80, the 20, or the 25. These two gears they're not change gears, they're pinions. And they're the ones that are the white plastic ones up towards the spindle gear. And the reason I want to do these two is because they're plastic and they're taking the biggest load, because they're the ones that are responsible for forward and reverse, and they're driving all the other change gears and down to the lead screw for power feed. The one interesting thing that got me was I made the 20, I made two 20s, because the one plastic one that you saw me put on the machine was a 20. The one next to it is a 25 tooth gear, and it blew me away. I'm going, wait a minute, if you're going away from the chuck with the power feed, you're using the 20 tooth gear. If you're going towards the chuck, you're going 25 tooth gear. Two different speeds that I wasn't aware of. But in any case, there is another gear that is a 20 tooth. It's actually a gear, and I got a K here, because I haven't finished this. K means it needs a keyway. So I'll have to broach the little spot here for a keyway. But that gear they don't offer in the change gears because it's metal anyway. So that's the one that I talked about at the end of last video saying, you know, I want to make another one of those because I want to make sure it's got the relief angles, everything to it. So in any case, I'm figuring out, here's all the gears that are in the whole machine. Which ones can I make with the existent 360? So here's the X's by them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gears is all I can do on this. So if I wanted to make another plate, I'm looking at this going, oh yeah, man, for some reason I came up with 72 holes. I don't know where I came up with that number now, but then I'm looking at this plate going, wait a minute, it's only 36 holes here. So, and they're really close to one another, so you can't go more than 36 holes. You probably could get a few more in there. So I'm realizing I can't drill 72 holes in this plate. So the best I can do is probably 25 holes, which would give me 250 degrees because there's the little 10th increments in there. What can I make with a 250 plate? 2 gears, the 25 and the 50, that's it. So I'm invested in this thing. If I would have done this in the beginning, I'm not sure if I would have even attacked this or not, but as it is, I'm invested $20. This gear I got, but I didn't realize the Banggood sight was broken. No matter what you put in the cart, you wind up with this 135 gear. So I'm not counting that. That was 10 bucks thrown in the trash can. So I'm into it for $20. I can do 17 to 20 and 21 to 25. So that's these 2 gears I can make. And I'm figuring, well, what the heck, since I'm in it, I put these other 2 gears on order, or cutters. Because the 12 to 13 I'll never use, 14 to 16 I won't use, 55 to 134, nah, not. So here's $40 invested, plus the material for this and the time. To make 2 gears, I was on LMS. 22th gear in metal is 12 bucks plus shipping, and the 25 is 12 bucks plus shipping. So $24, and I was into it. 20, all right. But the cool thing about the LMS site is the change gear sets. They did label them as module 1, yay, so I got it right. There's definitely metric gears. They listed the bore as 12 millimeters, and I measured what I'm doing, and yep, spot on, 472 thousandths. I haven't checked the keyway yet. They're saying it's 3 millimeter, 118 thousandths. And the width, 8 millimeters, yep, they are 315 thousandths. So that was good information to know. And so where am I now? I guess since I'm in it, I might as well buy these 2 gears because there are other gears in the apron that maybe I can make. I think I can. I don't know. I haven't looked at what their pitch is or anything. So I might as well invest in this so I can make whatever I want, you know, $20 more. And then I'm going to make this plate with, I guess, 25 holes, so I can make this 25 gear that I was interested in. And since I've got the 2 mini lathes, I have 2 complete sets of plastic change gears. Also, yeah, the one I want to make is the 2 plastic gears, the 20 and 25, that are up by the spindle, drive this one plastic gear that's underneath a cover. Half of the gear is covered up. That's a 45 tooth gear, so I do want to make that, and I can make it with the 360. So I'm going to wind up making 20, 25, and 45, and then call it quits. The big one, one of them's kind of wiped out. The center bore is kind of messed up. So I'm running on another one, and I might make the 80 someday, but I would have to make another one of these plates to do it. So hindsight, here's all the cutters. You have to buy them one at a time on the Banggood site. Be careful what's in the basket, because you might be at the bad one, where it's always going to put number 8 in your shopping cart. And these are all the gears. So on with this video, I'll show making this guy and what I'm doing. This is really pushing a mini lathe to its limits to try to be able to do that. That's a 4-inch piece right there. You know, I can't really hold it, but it's right on 4-inch. I went through the junk bin and they had a bunch of pieces under $3 a pound for 4 1/4 inch, but I can't hold that. So this just makes it in a 4-inch chuck, and it's what, 2 inches long. So this was pre-cut stock that they sell. They sell it what, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, so on. That piece ran $12.74, but so it's kind of a kick, turning it, angled everything to the max. Get it to speed up there, take it in, what? Oh, I'm not even touching, right? Yeah, no, I'm not. As I back it out once I hit center. There we go. Kind of going as fast as I can here. And you can see the smoke, boy. It's putting out some heat. Problem is, too, the curls or whatever jam up, so I can't see the center when I'm done. I think I'm almost done with the cut. There, hopefully I'm done. Back it out. So, take me a bit to turn this. What is it? Yeah, that's a 2-inch on the cross slide here. Oh, I didn't quite finish it. Great. Oh well. Faced off, looks pretty good. I'm not too concerned with the finish since it's just going to be an indexing plate. Have the power feed engaged. You can see what I've done here to get this angle here. Probably don't need to go too fast here. Let's come in and see what it's going to look like, huh? Whoa, just touched. Not too bad. Spit and chips all over the place. Slow it down a bit because it's bouncing more. Wow, that was a strange sound, I'll tell you that. Huh? We're in a couple of thousands here. Maybe I need cutting fluid, I don't know. Put something on it here until I get it kind of round. Gee, that is strange. What's the finish look like here? I have a good angle. That is terrible finish, that's why. It's tearing it up. Insert was gone. A whole different finish now. I'm using my steel cutter rather than replacing that. I probably should go in further than this. Yeah, quite a bit further, huh? Go in a few thousandths here. Come on, okay, there you go. So, chip's coming off. You can see it's pretty nice finish even for just a junk insert. This isn't an aluminum specific insert. Oh man, it's throwing junk all over me, sticking to my shirt. So just a matter of turning this thing down now. Done, I guess. Pretty nice finish here for a steel insert, a generic one. Chamfered it. You can see the angle here. Just change the angle, come in and just clean up this edge. So now it's a matter of just taking it over to the bandsaw. I've got just under a 1/2 inch here of cut. So I need a 1/4 inch plate. I'll probably saw it off right here. Well, I guess bring the ruler back over, figure out, just measure the spin indexer and see how thick a plate I can get. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put spacers back here. I need to get a light over here so I can see what I'm doing, but you can see it's cutting it. I've got a piece of wood just stuck up in the handle and a weight over there. So, and on the slowest speed, but it's staying right on the correct cut. Dangerous sticking your finger in there, but as far as I can tell, it's doing it. It's gonna be a while. Well, about 15 minutes here, and it's staying right on the line. When I turn this guy, where it ended is where I set the blade here, and looking at it over there, it's right on it. So, because I was worried I had to back this guy up, and it can move this way. So you can essentially have a pretty crooked cut, but also I was thinking I've got enough of material here that I can do this again, but turn it down further and cut it off to be able to make a 60-tooth gear or whatever I want. So I could actually, wow. Boy, that almost seemed like that moved. Alright. So I know I can do it one more time in this vise, but so we'll see. See how long it's been. I've had to shut it off sometimes because the noise just gets to be incredible. Take the extra weight off. It's very close. Yeah, it's starting to move. Right, how can I hold this thing? There it is. Hey. Oh. Wow. And it followed it all the way down. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I should be able to face this off. Really tempted to make another one, but I know that was at least 2 hours to cut that. Oy. Crazy. Spider to the rescue. As you can see, it's just barely hanging on to it. Almost done, and let me tell you, chips are flying everywhere here. So, do this for a minute. Pretty soon it's going to be that one long, ugly strand that's going to come around and nail me, huh? Taking about 5 thousandths cut. Here we go. Moving the crank almost as fast as I can. I can see something grabbed onto a chuck jaw. It's going to come around and slice me, but now I can't see when I'm done. So I gotta go by sound. Probably one more cut and I got it, huh? Hey, chatter. That is crazy. That was nasty, man. Stuff went flying all over the place. It scared me to death. Now it's just a matter of chamfering this little edge here, and then I gotta clean up one big mess. Alright, clamp that down. There we go. Doesn't look like I got the center, but that's okay. So that's it, boy. Lots of kind of complicated things here. First, I was told that this thing was spot on, and I was playing with it earlier with the gauge pin, and it's off. Forgot now what it was. I think it was like almost 1,000th or something. So I'm gonna have to pull out the gauge blocks and really kind of double check this guy. And here's the disc, of course, thicker than I wanted it to be. It was supposed to be 250 thou. I'm at 310-ish thou off, so, but it'll work. There's plenty of threads on the spin indexer, and figured too, while I've got a big mess going on in the chips, let me just turn this guy down. So there's using the chuck spider, I could come in a lot further. So it's kind of prepped for whatever I want to do. Got this guy off and starting to figure out what in the world I'm going to do here. First thing was I tried measuring this, and I figured, no, let me just caliper the spindex itself. It's a machined surface. Where's the pen point? You know, the surface that this thing sits on here is well machined and shiny and ground. So, and this was a tight fit. You had to finagle it a bit to get it off. So, idea is I want to put this back in the chuck, drill, and then bore it to this, but I want to make sure I got that good a fit too. So 2-inch piece, I'll cut off some, and I'll make sort of like a gauge pin, a go, no go with this. I'll sneak up on it until this guy just gets on there. So then I'll have that I can turn this with, start boring it, and sneak up on it, and make sure I've got it right on the money. That would be done. Now, the next thing to do is took the gauge pins, and these holes are all over the place. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and this guy is somewhat coned, which I've got here. 183 thou here, 196 thou there. And they're also funneled. No, it actually, you stare at it, and it's just countersunk, chamfered. And it's a straight hole, but they've got holes, they're different sizes. There's some that are bigger than others. So I'm not sure what drill bit I'm going to use yet. I do have all the different sizes. So first thing I wanted to do is, of course, you got to figure out what the radius is. So I tried 2 different techniques. I measured, found a gauge pin that kind of fits everything here. The smallest hole, and it's 187 thou. Just for that, divided by 2, and I got 93.5 thou. All right, so measured. I know this dimension perfectly, and I measured 2 methods. One, I measured from here to here as carefully as I could with the caliper going across, and I got 3 inches, 368 thou. So I know the gauge pin, and I know that, so I'll know center to center divided by 2. I think this was it. Yeah, this was it. So the radius, according to this method, is 1 inch, 777,500. Second method was, I know this, so as best I could, I measured from here to here. So that's the inside here to this. Came up with 800 thousandths. So you run the math on that, and I came up with 1778. So I'm a half thousandth difference. So my radius is going to be 1 inch, 778 thousandths. And I was even thinking, all right, what if I am off? I'm not going to be off this way. I'm going to be either too far out or too far in. And what's going to happen is, I just use this for an example. Say they're on, but if I'm off, the hole gets a little bit smaller because you've got this edge here to this edge. I can always make my own pin a little bit smaller to fit it. So I don't have to care too much about where this radius is. I'm just going to say that's the radius and hope for the best. So what else do I need to do? Figure out the size of the holes, and then what I'm planning on doing, there's 2 ways of doing it. The BluDRO on the other mill has the whole circle function, and I used it once here on a gear. I said, I want a 270,000 radius, give me 5 holes. and you just move to positions. And I think I will do this on that machine and trust it's math. I know it's math, but because there's the other way to do it is a little machine shop has an online calculator where it'll tell you the XY position. You give it the holes, the radius, the angles, and poof, you got it. So I think I'm going to use the other mill because I got more height, and I can use the coaxial indicator to actually be perfectly on center and then tell it 25 holes please at that radius. So I guess that's about it, and I just need to figure out what size hole to drill. I think I want to probably hit in the middle here, safe, which is about 5 thousandths different. This is 10 thousandths sort of between the two, because yeah, I did check it up here and I checked it down here, and that's 10 thousandths, so 5 thousandths on there. I don't know what bit's going to give me that 188 thou. What do I have? 1875, which is going to be an undersized anyway when it drills it. So I don't know. I got to go through the metric set and the 1 to 60 set and stuff and see what I want to do. But that's going to be a lot of boring to take that out, because I'll probably drill it all the way up to a 1/2 inch and then start boring it out. Okay, well, I guess I have to make my go-no pin first. Funny, some people were asking what tolerance you can hold on a mini lathe. I was going in 2/10 of a thou to get this to fit, and I'm right on it too. It's just snugger than I'll get out. And it's right there. Eesh. So you gotta finagle it to get it in and out. That's pretty tight. Wow. Alright. So got my go no go gauge. Figured out why this guy is off. It's because it's freezing in the shop. It's 20 degrees below where it should be. So because it's even colder today than when I did this. That was 196 before. Let's see what it is now. Been kind of handling it. Yeah, it's a 1/2 thou, even lower than that. So yeah, it's probably good, but when it's 50 degrees in the shop, and you should be calibrating it above 70. So, all right, so no-go gauge done. Time to get this guy done. Boy, after hours and hours of boring a 1/2 inch hole into that, got it. Because this thing, go no go, worked beautifully. It just goes in there. And I already put it on the spindex, and it works perfectly. But what I just realized is on the mill I can use this guy, wind up clamping it down, or somehow put a hole through the middle of it, just a T-slot clamp. But I should be able to find and verify the radius that way. That'll be cool, huh? How far did it go anyway? Put this guy on there first. Drop him there. This guy on there. Boom. Covers the holes. Not by much, huh? It looks like it's just to the edge of these lines, so I'm just barely gonna make it here. That's a kick. All right, so now the real fun begins after days and days worth of work. If I screw up the holes, I'll give up, I guess. I don't know. Okay, over to the mill now.